And the ambitious bullet train project, which was put on the back burner, is back on track, with the new Eknath Shinde-led government looking to fast-track the project. Today, the central government invited bids for the design and construction of an underground station at Mumbai's Bandra-Kurla complex and for a tunnel for the bullet train project. ET Now's Khushbu Tiwari visited the spot where the station is probably going to come up. Take a look at the ground report she filed earlier in the day.
This is roughly the place where the new and the only underground station for the aspirational bullet train project is going to come up. We are at BKC, where for which the National High Speed Railway Corporation has asked for bids for the construction of the underground station, which will have 6 platforms and will have 2 exit and entry points, one towards the MTNL and one towards Metro Line 2B. With this announcement, there's much hope amongst Mumbaikars to Ahmedabad, to people residents in Ahmedabad, that the project will soon see the speed catching up with the pace of construction also. With the change of guards in Maharashtra government, the hopes are also catching pace for the completion of this project, or rather for the initiation of this project, which is going to reduce the travel time between Ahmedabad and Mumbai by 50 to 60%, reducing the travel time to only 3 hours. Khushbu Tiwari, ET Now.
All right, to speak more on this, I'm joined today by Shashi Sonawane, who's an activist, and Mukesh, Mehta, an urban planning expert. Welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Mr. Mehta, let me begin first by your take. When the bullet train project was first announced, many asked, do we need to spend so much to reduce the distance between Mumbai and Ahmedabad from 6 hours to 3 hours? Can that money not be utilized elsewhere? There were a number of questions. Do we really need JICA to come and fund it? Is it going to add anything? Do you think today all of those questions still prevail? And what, in your view, are the advantages of this project? I think you're on mute, sir.
Thank you for inviting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now. Please go ahead.
Okay. So thank you for inviting me. I feel, firstly, this is an extremely welcome project because we are talking about 21st century India. And the Prime Minister is one of those people who can take us onto the global scene as important leaders, important economy. While I'm happy that this project has taken off, I would ideally have preferred a later technology, a maglev or a hyperloop, something like that, because we have to set trends instead of following trends. China set trends in the late 20th century, early 21st century. I think we don't have to emulate others. We have a visionary in Delhi who could have set trends, and I feel we should have done that. Now, in terms of economic growth, I think the bullet train can do fantastic. Based on some of the reports, the economic advantage, the returns could be over 11 to 12%. And that is fantastic. Compared to other developments where Japan has seen about 60 to 70% growth in regular economies, where they've had bullet train, the growth has become 150%. So I absolutely welcome this step, and I'm glad that the unnecessary political delays will no longer stop the project.
Shashi Sonawane, some of the delays were also because of land acquisition. Now, in Maharashtra, for the Maharashtra leg, the acquisition of land has reached about 70-odd%. It's complete fully in Dadra, Nagar and Haveli, and about 90-odd% in Gujarat. Do you think there will now be a smoother way paved towards the bullet train?
See, I think government will smoothly take over land now because they are not abiding by the constitutional provisions, by the law of the land. Firstly, they have taken land in Gujarat through Land Acquisition Act. In Maharashtra, they are taking land, actually they are buying land from the farmers and the Adivasis using a GR, government GR, which is related to irrigation projects. So it's a private negotiation thing. And if you are bypassing these things, then it is easy for government to take up the land. Secondly, we have this fifth schedule area in Maharashtra's Palghar district. And in the fifth schedule area, we have this PESA Act and Gram Sabha resolutions that have been opposing bullet train for various reasons. And the reasons are very straight, simple. We need to have our own priorities. For a nation like India, we need to strengthen, modernize our Indian railway system instead of having bullet train, which is very costly, which is financially not viable, and it is not going to help Indian railways in any way. For example, we have Train 18, which we now run as Vande Bharat, which has been indigenously Swadeshi built semi-high-speed train, which runs at a maximum speed of 200 kilometers per hour. That is its capacity. Now the bullet train's capacity is 320 kilometers per hour. That's the only difference. So what should be our priority? Our priority should be safe, secure, affordable railway system for the common man. That is one thing. In Palghar district, Adivasis, farmers, and the Bhumi Putra have been opposing this project because they are not going to benefit from this bullet train. They are going to lose their land, they are going to lose their forest, their villages are going to be divided, and hence the entire fifth schedule area has been opposing it. What government has done? We had sent almost 3 Gram Sabha resolutions for the past 5 years to the government. They sat on it, and now when the Gram Panchayat period has been over, through the administrators, they are taking Gram Sabha resolutions in favor of bullet train.
Mr. Shashi, one minute. I understand the point you're making, but isn't it a fact that all infrastructural projects in India across states always run into the issue of land acquisition?
Of course.
That's the standard. Are you suggesting that we do not look at these large infrastructural projects at all? This whole debate of, infrastructural advancement versus rights of the landowners is an age-old one.
Yes. No, we are not against infrastructure development. If you are developing Indian railways, we are for it. Bullet train is not an infrastructure development as it has been projected. Number one. Number two, since independence, it is the Adivasis who have paid a heavy price for all these development projects, starting from Bhakra Nangal. Okay. There are many studies which say that around 40% of the tribal population have been adversely affected by this project. There is not a single project which has completely rehabilitated our tribal population. Give me one example. You take example of Narmada project or XYZ any project. We don't find any. That's why land acquisition is always a critical issue, and especially in Palghar, where the Adivasis have a historical background tradition of fighting for their land since Godavari Tai Parulekar in the 1940s. Then we have Bhumi Sena, where we are fighting under the leadership of Kaluram Kaka, who fought for Adivasi rights in 1970s.
All right, let me come to Mukesh Mehta on this now. Mukesh Mehta, I'm not sure if they will face problems or not. Our speaker himself is saying that, Mr. Sonawane is saying that now there will be no problems in land acquisition. But do you think that the bullet train will add what it needs to? Typically, and that's the point you raised in the first response. Let me finish. One second, sir. Typically in India, from plan to execution takes many, many years. And you spoke about technology changing in that time. By the time we get the bullet train, do you think the bullet train will be what we still need?
Okay. So firstly, I feel that bullet train is a first important step. And I'm happy about that. Having said that, I do not agree with Mr. Sonawane at all. He's talking about throwing baby with the bathwater. If you have a problem about compensating or rehabilitating the tribals, let's talk about solution for that. On account of that, you can't talk about not going through development. We have to develop as a 21st century nation, And in that context, absolutely, we must take care of Adivasis, we must take care of the urban poor, and that is in fact my area of expertise, which is to design projects for slums, etc. Right now also, we are designing some redevelopment projects in Thane, which is a part of the present Chief Minister's constituency. And we are talking of making Thane better than Mumbai with futuristic design, future things. We don't have to emulate anyone. I would agree with Mr. Sonawane whether 320 kilometers versus 200 kilometers works. No, I would have preferred the maglev with 600 kilometers. I would have preferred that. But I'm not going to therefore abandon the present project because it's come a long way. And like you said, it takes time, undoubtedly, for doing things in India. And that's why I would prefer that if activists like Mr. Sonawane look at a co-development where we combine development and also we take care of environment, other social issues, instead of obstructing one versus the other.
In any case, the bullet train is on the fast track. Quick last word, Mr. Sonawane, and then I have to wrap. Yes.
We are for development. That's why I'm saying that why don't we give priority to our Indian railway system? Why don't we promote our Indian railway engineers?
But why does it have to be an either or? Mr. Sonawane, why does it have to be an either or? Is there a cogent reason for no bullet train? There has to be a cogent, clear reason.
Let me finish. Our indigenously developed train cost at around 150 crores, and this bullet train costs more than 1,10,000 crores. Now, what is this economics? I'm not able to understand. Why we have to pay price for this kind of white elephant? And secondly,
because it runs at 320 kilometers per hour.
Yes, that's true. 200
so it's going to cost more.
200 is more than enough, which runs on our present Indian railway network. Why are we not utilizing it completely?
Okay, so we will have to continue this debate, but as of today, at least the tenders have been announced, or the announcement has been made that they will be inviting tenders for the underground station of the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train, which will begin at the Bandra-Kurla complex. Thank you to both of you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.